All right, everyone, we are going to read chapter 2 of Harry Potter, and it's called Dobby's Warning. Harry managed not to shout out, but it was a close thing. The little creature on the bed had large, bat like ears and bulging green eyes the size of tennis balls. Harry knew instantly that this is what had been watching him out of the garden hedge that morning. As they stared at each other, Harry heard Dudley's voice from the hall. "May I take your coats, Mr. and Mrs. Mason?" The creature slipped off the bed and bowed so low that the end of its long, thin nose touched the carpet. Harry noticed that it was wearing what looked like an old pillowcase with rips for arms and leg holes. Hello, said Harry nervously. Harry Potter, said the creature in a high-pitched voice Harry was sure would carry down the stairs. So long has Dobby wanted to meet you, sir. Such an honor it is. Thank you, said Harry, edging along the wall and sinking into his desk chair next to Hedwig, who was asleep in her large cage. He wanted to ask, "What are you?" but thought it would sound too rude, so instead he said, "Who are you?" "Dobby, sir, just Dobby. Dobby the house elf," said the creature. "Oh, really?" said Harry. I don't want to be rude or anything, but this isn't a great time for me to have a house elf in my bedroom." Aunt Petunia's high, false laugh sounded from the living room, and the elf hung his head. "Not that I'm pleased to meet you," said Harry quickly, "but, is there any particular reason why you're here?" "Oh, yes, sir," said Dobby earnestly. "Dobby has come to tell you, sir. It is difficult, sir. Dobby wonders where to begin." Sit down, said Harry politely, pointing at the bed. To his horror, the elf burst into tears, very noisy tears. "Sit down," he wailed. "Never, never, never." Harry thought he heard the voices downstairs falter. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't mean to offend you or anything." "Offend Dobby," choked the elf. "Dobby has never been asked to sit down by a wizard. Like an equal." Harry tried saying shh and look comfortable at the same time, ushered Dobby back onto the bed where he sat, hiccuping, looking like a large and very ugly doll. At last he managed to control himself and sat with his great eyes fixed on Harry in an expression of watery adoration. "You can't have met many decent wizards," said Harry, trying to cheer him up. Dobby shook his head. Then, without warning, he leapt up and started banging his head furiously on the window, shouting, "Bad Dobby! Bad Dobby!" "Don't! What are you doing?" Harry hissed, springing up and pulling Dobby back to bed. Hedwig had woken up with a particularly loud screech and was beating her wings wildly against the bars of her cage. "Dobby had to punish himself, sir," said the elf, who had gone slightly criss-cross-eyed. "Dobby almost spoke ill of his family, sir." "Your family?" "The wizard family Dobby serves, sir. Dobby is a house elf, bound to serve one house and one family forever." "Do they know you're here?" said Harry. Dobby shuddered. "Oh, no, sir. Dobby will have to punish himself most grievously for coming to see you. Dobby will have to, if they ever knew, sir. But won't they notice if you shut your ears?" "Dobby doubts it, sir. Dobby is always having to punish himself for something, sir. They let Dobby get on with it, sir. Sometimes they remind me to do extra punishments." "But why don't you leave? Escape?" asked Harry. "A house elf must be set free, sir, and the family will never set Dobby free. Dobby will serve the family until he dies, sir." Harry stared. "And I thought I was hard done by staying here for another 4 weeks," he said. "This makes the Dursleys sound almost human. Can't anyone help you? Can I?" Almost at once, Harry wished he hadn't spoken. Dobby dissolved into wails of gratitude. "Please," Harry whispered frantically, "please be quiet. If the Dursleys hear anything, if they know you're here." "Harry Potter asks if he can help Dobby. Dobby has heard of your greatness, sir, but of your goodness, Dobby never knew." Harry, who was feeling distinctly hot in the face, said, "Whatever you've heard about my greatness is a load of rubbish. I'm not even top of my year at Hogwarts. That's Hermione. She's—" But he stopped quickly, because thinking about Hermione was too painful. "Harry Potter is humble and modest," said Dobby reverently, his eyes aglow. "Harry Potter speaks none of his triumph over he who must not be named." "Voldemort?" said Harry. Dobby clapped his hands over his ears, moaned, "Oh, don't speak of the name, sir. Speak not the name." "Sorry," said Harry quickly. "I know lots of people don't like it. My friend Ron—" He stopped again. Thinking about Ron was too painful, too. Dobby leaned towards Harry, his eyes wide as headlamps. Dobby heard tell, he said, that Harry Potter met the Dark Lord for a second time, just weeks ago, that Harry Potter escaped yet again. Harry nodded, and Dobby's eyes suddenly shone with tears. Ah, sir, he gasped, dabbing his face with a corner of the grubby pillowcase he was wearing. Harry Potter is valiant and bold. He has braved so many dangers already, but Dobby has come to protect Harry Potter, to warn him. Even if he does have to shut his ears in the oven later, Harry Potter must not go back to Hogwarts. There was a silence broken only by the chink of knives and forks from downstairs and the distant rumble of Uncle Vernon's voice. What? Harry stammered. But I've got to go back. Term starts on September the 1st. It's all that's keeping me going. You don't know what it's like here. I don't belong here. I belong in your world. I belong at Hogwarts. No, no, squeaked Dobby, shaking his head so hard his ears flapped. Harry Potter must stay where he is safe. He's too great, and he's too good to lose. If Harry Potter goes back to Hogwarts, he will be in mortal danger. Why? Said Harry, surprised. There is a plot, Harry Potter. A plot to make the most terrible things happen at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry this year, whispered Dobby, suddenly trembling all over. Dobby has known it for months, sir. Harry Potter must not put himself in peril. He's too important, sir. What terrible things? Said Harry. Who's plotting them? Dobby made a funny choking noise and then banged his head madly against the wall. All right, said Harry, grabbing the elf's arm to stop him. You can't say I understand, but why are you warning me? A sudden unpleasant thought struck him. Hang on. This hasn't got anything to do with with you-know-who, does it? You could just shake or nod your head, he added, as Dobby's head tilted worryingly close to the wall. Slowly, Dobby shook his head. Not he who must not be named, sir. But Dobby's eyes were wide, and he seemed to be trying to give Harry a hint. Harry, however, was completely lost. He hasn't got a brother, has he? Dobby shook his head, eyes wider than ever. Well, then, I can't think who else would have a chance of making horrible things happen at Hogwarts, said Harry. I mean, there's Dumbledore, for one thing. You know who Dumbledore is, don't you? And Dobby bowed his head. Albus Dumbledore is the greatest headmaster Hogwarts has ever had. Dobby knows it, sir. Dobby has heard of Dumbledore's powers, rival those of he who must not be named, at the height of his strength. But, sir, Dobby's voice dropped to an urgent whisper, there are powers Dumbledore doesn't, powers no decent wizard. And before Harry could stop him, Dobby bounded off the bed, seized Harry's desk lamp, and started beating himself on the head. A sudden silence fell downstairs. 2 seconds later, Harry, heart thudding madly, heard Uncle Vernon coming into the hall, calling, Dudley must have left his television on again, the little tyke. Quick, in the wardrobe, hissed Harry, stuffing Dobby in, shutting the door. And then Uncle Vernon opened the door. What are you doing? Said Uncle Vernon through gritted teeth, his face horribly close to Harry's. You've just ruined the punchline of my joke. One more noise and you'll wish you've never been born, boy. He stomped flat-footed from the room. Shaking, Harry let Dobby out of the wardrobe. See what it's like here, he said. See why I've got to go back to Hogwarts? It's the only place I've got. Well, I think I've got friends. Friends who don't even write to Harry Potter, said Dobby. I expect they've just been... Hang on, said Harry, frowning. How do you know my friends haven't been writing to me? Dobby shuffled his feet. Harry Potter mustn't be angry with Dobby. Dobby did it for the best. Have you been stopping my letters? Dobby has them here, sir, said the elf. Stepping out of Harry's reach, he pulled a thick wad of envelopes from the inside of a pillowcase he was wearing. Harry could make out Hermione's neat handwriting, Ron's untidy scrawl, and even a scribble that looked as though it was from Hogwarts gamekeeper Hagrid. Dobby blinked anxiously up at Harry. Harry Potter mustn't be angry. Dobby hoped, if Harry Potter thought his friends had forgotten him, Harry Potter might not want to go back to school. Harry wasn't listening. He made a grab for the letters, but Dobby jumped out of reach. Harry Potter will have them, sir, if he gives Dobby his word that he will not return to Hogwarts. Ah, sir, this is a danger you must not face. Say you won't go back, sir. No, said Harry angrily. Give me my friend's letters. Then Harry Potter leaves Dobby no choice, said the elf. Before Harry could move, Dobby had darted to the bedroom door, pulled it open, and sprinted down the stairs. Mouth dry, stomach lurching, Harry sprang after him, trying not to make a sound. He jumped the last 6 stairs, landing like a cat on the hall carpet, looking around for Dobby. From the dining room, he heard Uncle Vernon saying, "Tell Petunia that very funny story about those American plumbers, Mr. Mason. She's been wanting to hear." We're going to stop there. We're going to read what happens with Dobby, Uncle Vernon, and Aunt Petunia tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.